This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I are playing the old Gods of Appalachia RPG. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Best Leave Them Ghosts Alone. It was written by Shanna, Germain, and it's available from montecookgames.com. I'll put a link in the description. Our game master is Tyler Hudak, and this is episode 1. This being the first episode, I want to mention that we rely on your contributions. Our funding comes to us mostly through our Patreon site. We don't monetize our videos, so you don't get interruptions. Your generous support helps to pay for our websites, the club space, and everything that goes into our video production. It's your support that keeps us going, and we deeply appreciate it. That being said, and without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Tyler.
Hello, family. Welcome to the old Gods of Appalachia. Now, family, we find ourselves in dismal Pennsylvania, a place that, despite its name, was a little slice of heaven to you as children. 20 years ago, during that endless summer, y'all became thick as thieves. You did what youngins do best, splashing in the creek till your fingers pruned, wandering the woods like kings and queens of the holler, and most importantly, building something sacred. There, in that hidden clearing by your rabbit-shaped rock, you crafted a fort, your fort. A place made of sticks and bones, laughter and secrets, a refuge from the world beyond the trees. Now, family, let's go back there for just a moment. Let's return to the fort, where the shadows whisper and memories linger, to the summer when everything changed. After all, you are best friends, and nothing will ever come between you. Let's start with you, Aussie. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and one thing that you have brought to the fort?
All right. Well, my name's Aussie Birch. I'm the only lady in this here pack of miscreants, and I'm actually the one who found this little spot and brought us all together. So I always lord that over them just a little bit every chance I get. What I bring to the fort, well, aside from a sense of a little bit of femininity and a little bit of style, I'd say I'm gonna say I bring my favorite walking stick because, well, the woods are we're all pretty native to the woods, but still can be a little bit tricky footed. So having a little bit of something to steady myself with is never a bad idea.
Sounds good. Zoa, what about you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what's your favorite memory of the fort?
Well, my name is Zoa Green, and I belong to the National Park Service. I work as a park ranger for the woods and for the mountains. This was the best time of my life growing up, just being in the woods, being with everybody, all my friends. I think one of the things that I always bought that I took with me on my journey through life was just my love of the woods. I preferred to be outside. There were many times at nights we would just sleep out in that fort. We would tell our stories and our ghost stories and our dreams. And I think that was the best moments in my life. And a lot of nature and animals that we used to play. Ozzy and I used to go running through the forest looking at, she was much better with the animals than I was, but always tried. Always tried.
You tried. It never worked, but you tried.
I tried.
All right. Floyd, what about you? And why don't you let us know, did you all ever name that rabbit-shaped rock?
Oh, that old rabbit-shaped rock. I think we decided to go and call that Henry Ford, if I remember correctly. Um, but I might have forgotten that. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Floyd Pinkleton. I tend to have a tendency to get in a few scrapes here and there, so I always have a bruise or a cut or somewhere on myself. But I'm a bit of a gentle giant overall.
All right. And WE, what about you? What are you like, and what did you bring to the fort?
Well, as an adult, I've sort of grown into what they call a gentleman of the road or a hobo. But the thing about this fort and this time in my life, it's a home. It's like my mental home. Even though I'm always traveling, this is where my mind goes back to when I think of these things. And I'm sort of a big, healthy fellow. I go from place to place. I help people out, and I like to just keep moving and looking at things. And I like helping people. What I contributed to this fort was I had one of my grandpa's old storm lanterns that is still at the fort probably right now for when we want to have late nights there. We just light her up and hang out and tell stories or whatever. It's probably still there, unless it broke or something.
All right. And last but not least, Ira, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and one of your favorite memories of the fort?
Well, the thing is that as a child, I was quiet. I kept to myself. I was a listener. I listened to other things. I listened to the woods and I listened to the animal life and so forth. And most of the people around me didn't much care for my company. They thought I was a little weird until I met my family here, who brought me in and welcomed me and treated me well. And they didn't mind that I would sit alone or with them and just keep quiet and listen. And what they couldn't hear in the woods, I could. There were things all around us, far more than our small family. There was life and death and spirits and animals, and what I brought was my attention.
All right. Now, family, towards the end of that summer, as you're gathered in the fort, it happens. A blast, not a fire, but a shadow and night, erupting from the rabbit-shaped stone. The air fills with the sharp sting of sulfur and the crack of unseen thunder. Darkness washes over you, dragging your senses elsewhere for a fleeting, disorienting moment. When you return, the stone at the heart of the fort is gone, reduced to ash and smoke. And then you see something else. Ossie is on the ground, still, silent. Each of you has seen death before, and you see it now, resting inside your friend. And then from the shadows of what remains, a rabbit appears. Not just any rabbit, mind you, but Rabbit Rabbit. You've heard his name before, whispered in the dark, tucked into bedtime stories meant to warn you, or perhaps terrify you with just enough to behave. At his core is a living cottontail, big-eared, big-footed, trembling with life, but cloaked in the ghosts of 1,000 rabbits that were. Torn and tattered, with teeth too long and nails sharpened to talons, they shape him into something too large, too wrong for this world. One ear torn, muzzle blood-stained, and back feet ready to drum a rhythm that could wake the dead. Rabbit Rabbit speaks, and his voice is the drying grass of fall whispering in the chill. This nest is my doing, and although I should not have let you borrow it, for I knew it to be dangerous, I did. It gladdened my heart, and I allowed it to continue for far too long. I can return your friend to the life form which they came, to be full and true and beating of heart once again. However, if I do this for you, you will each and all have an owe to be paid together as a single warren upon your friend's next and final death. So, family, as children, young children, what do you say to Rabbit Rabbit?
Do it.
Yeah, there's no question. She can't die. She's too young. No, do it. Do it. Do it, man.
I move over to where Aussie is and put my hands on her to feel if she's alive or dead.
She is certainly dead.
there is no price that we can pay that we're not willing to give.
What do we got to do?
We need our friend.
Rabbit says that the O will come when Aussie dies, her final death. I cannot see into the future, so I cannot tell you what that will be.
What will the O be? Can you tell us that?
I cannot. I will ask you to do something, and you will have to do it.
Well, it can't be anything that's too bad, but we need Aussie back, so we'll do whatever needs to be done. We'll deal with that when it comes.
All right.
Yeah.
You all agree. Rabbit steps back, and Aussie breathes as though they had never stopped. Rabbit bows his many heads and is gone. The fort you loved once is destroyed. You're not sure what you have said yes to, and already the entirety of it begins to fade, a dream of friendship and death already unraveling. After that, you are changed forever, each of you, in some ways that you have only begun to explore. You do not truly come together again until one summer, years later, when you get the message that your childhood friend Aussie has died, and you understand that you must return to the woods, that you must gather at the fort, that there's something you must do. Family, we are now back at the present, and the funeral for your friend Aussie is finished. Each of you left the funeral, and it was both surprising and inevitable that you ended up right here in this clearing with these friends of your childhood who are no longer children and perhaps no longer even really friends. But you know why you're here. You remember the rabbit that wasn't a rabbit. You remember the promise you made. You remember your O. And of course, you remember Aussie. Even more so, because it feels like you can still hear their voice out here in the woods. Not singing now, but saying something. Saying your names, saying hello. But how can that possibly be? Aussie, why don't you describe how you appear to everyone?
Basically, I looked up how I would have looked had, the day I died for the second time. I'm not sure how many years it's been, but
it's been around 20 years.
20 or so, and we were about what, 12-ish?
10 to 12, yeah.
10 to 12, okay.
So, right now it's the 1930s.
Okay. So, I look to be about like a woman, early 30s, in a plain homespun dress, hair pulled back in a bun, looking around like I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, like I'm trying to get my bearings a bit. Feet are bare, but the one thing you do notice is I'm carrying my fiddle and bow, and that's all I've got in my hands. Hello? Anyone? Can you hear me?
Boys, do you see what I see?
I think my grief is putting my mind into some kind of place it shouldn't be. That can't be her. We were just at the funeral.
This is not possible.
I watch my own funeral. Trust me, it's a little bit. It's right strange. I'll tell you what.
Are you like a haint or something?
What? No.
Come over here.
I trudge over.
Okay.
She makes no footprints when she walks.
She doesn't?
She doesn't. But as you look at her, you feel that you can, reach out and touch her. In fact, one of you does, and she feels physical to you. You can touch her, you can hear her, you can see her. She's not like a ghost that's corporeal, but you can absolutely see her.
Does she feel cold or warm?
Are you okay, Aussie? Do you feel cold or warm?
I feel fine. Nothing too out of the ordinary, really.
Is there hunger or thirst in the afterlife? Are you hungry or thirst?
I don't know. All I remember was dying in that bed, and the next thing I know, I'm looking over my coffin. Must have been some time between then and my death and then, but don't ask me. I thought I was going to heaven. Instead, I'm here.
Well,
yeah. Sorry.
There's got to be something that's keeping you. Probably rabbit. we have to fulfill our end of the bargain. I hope he doesn't ask us
What?
to.
I don't even.
Oh.
Don't get me. All right,
We
boys.
imagine that could not have been real either.
I mean,
forgot
boys.
all about that.
I mean, boys, you do remember. Well, that's right. I really hadn't seen you in like 20 years, but I'd had a burn mark on me pretty much the entire rest of my life. Did it cause the tumors? I don't know, but I didn't walk away from that explosion unscathed, you know.
You seem awfully talkative for a dead woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Which seems
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was I really all that different back then?
Oh no.
Well,
Boys, I don't think this is our imagination because we're all seeing the same thing.
Yeah, she's
we
a real
haven't had any
dead girl.
moonshine yet to salute.
well, I do got a little bit of Pappy's moonshine that I've been hunkering on for. So I don't know about the rest of you, but
Don't tell me that. No, not when I can't drink it.
How do you know you can't drink it?
I mean,
I'll hand her my jug, a small little flask to her, see if she can grab it.
Yeah. You
I
can
pick it
grab
up.
it. Yeah.
Well, smells real good. Don't know if this will actually do anything, but bottoms up.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Ozzy!
you can
Ozzy, if this
taste.
ghost was anyone but you, I think I would be running, whipping myself all the way home.
I wouldn't be here, no.
And as you all are, trying to figure out what is going on with Ossie, you suddenly realize that standing before you, just as you remember it, those many years ago, is Rabbit Rabbit. It says, "You've all been drawn here because your O is now due.
Yes, sir.
Please."
This is the first time I'm meeting you, so because I was a little bit dead at the time.
And you are now too. What are you talking about?
There's a lot of it dead.
Yeah.
Rabbit Rabbit says, "I have a mission for you all to go to find someone." Says 50 miles north of here, in the town of Langley, is somebody known as the Mander Witch who has disappeared. I need you all to find her. But what questions do you have for me?
All right. Well, is there any reason anybody might want to hurt said witch, I guess?
He says, "Well, we believe so. See, in Langley, near the town of Langley, the company called the Langley Coal and Navigation Company is building a dam. If that dam construction begins, it will not only destroy the mining town of Langley, but a large habitat. Not only that, it will create an opening for something ancient and powerful to enter this world. In order for us to stop building the dam, or at least help stop building the dam, we need the help of the river. And the Mander Witch has always been a friend to the river. But the Mander Witch is gone. We cannot find her. And that's why we need your help."
All right.
Find her if we can. What happens to Ossie once we have fulfilled our obligation to you? Does she get to move on or does she get to come back?
That will likely be her choice. If the right decisions are made along the way, Ossie may get to choose.
Well,
She's
now.
not going to come back to a cancer riddle. Her body's been buried. She'd have to have another
we got to
body.
renegotiate this deal. We were little kids when we made that.
No.
I work for the United States government, and
you can't go back
the
on
law
the
of
deal,
land
Zoa.
says
You
kids
gotta-
cannot legally enter into any kind of agreements.
Government. I don't even want to say the word.
Boys!
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think any decisions about the state of my afterlife should be made by me. Don't you think?
He's got you there, Zoa.
Yeah.
So, y'all made this deal. I had no part in it. I'm just apparently said, I don't know, the trigger of it all. So,
Yeah.
Zoa, I love you. I do. But please, shut up.
I
Right,
think that it's not unreasonable for us to go just 50 odd miles north and see if we can find this Mander witch.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
she
we're
look
just
like?
just
How do
finding
we
somebody.
know her
That's not
from
too hard.
anybody else? Does she have a look?
Oh, you will know her, but she lives in the woods near the river in a small shack. She shouldn't be too hard. The shack should not be too hard to find.
All right.
She doesn't
What if I-
hide herself or anything like that.
When was the I guess last time you had any contact with her?
Oh, it's been we've been trying to contact her for a few weeks now, at least.
All right.
If there's a way that we could stop this dam construction, even if we don't find the Mander witch, would that help?
It would, but we need the river in order
We
to
need the river.
stop the dam construction, and the the Mander witch is the only one who can help control the river.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Mr.
I'd say
Roosevelt
that-
seems to be a pretty nice fella. Maybe we can, talk to the government. Zoe, you got some connections with
Oh no.
the Roosevelts, don't you?
I just don't trust the
Maybe
word.
not.
Don't trust
Maybe not the president himself, but I do talk to the Secretary of the
Oh.
Interior on occasion.
Oh, you work for the government now, do you, Zoa?
I do.
The government ain't
Interesting.
going to want to deal with that. They're going to say it's the greater good to get rid of that thing and
Yeah.
build a dam. They're not going to understand.
Yep. Eminent
Besides,
domain.
I think-
some new thing they got.
I think this is honest to God family business, and we don't need
Mhm.
no outsiders
Yeah.
telling us
Exactly.
Yeah,
how to
that.
handle our things.
All right, I agree. So
Well, if it wasn't
Ossie,
for
I just want
Aussie,
you to know the only reason I got upset is because I don't want you coming back sick again. If you're going to come back, whatever your choice is, I want you to be healthy, and I think we really owe that as a payment.
I greatly appreciate that, Zoa. Believe me, you don't. You don't want to die the death I did. It was painful.
I didn't
You
want
gotta
these guys to
understand.
get-
You got to understand, though, that death is a natural part of life. We all will have to die someday. We don't need Rabbit to tell us that.
And if Rabbit could smile, you might see a smirk across its face. It says, "There's no time to waste. It will take you a few days to reach the Mander Witch's house, and it's likely she's in grave danger. Be careful, because if something happened to her, there could be others on the lookout, watching for you or other help to come."
All right.
With
Well,
that, the Rabbit just disappears.
All right then.
Yeah, he does that.
I say, sort of looking to the rest of them. He actually was all right for a giant, bloody rabbit thing.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
glad that I didn't go hunting rabbits most of my life.
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
That'd be
I swore
creepy.
off a rabbit meat once I met him the first time.
Oh God, yeah. I haven't touched rabbit.
Me
Never.
too. Me too.
So, to be honest, I've lived out here mostly in the woods, so I'm pretty familiar with the woods. But maybe Zoa knows a faster route to get us close to Langley,
So
rather than trompsing across country.
So you do know that there's a road that goes about 30 miles north before it turns east. Where you need to go is almost directly north. Additionally, there's a cargo train that heads north every morning around 9 a.m. You may be able to take that, a certain amount of the way. But either way, you're not going to get directly there. There's really no direct route. At some point, you probably are going to have to walk.
Well, I've ridden that train. I can get us on it, and that'll get us part way there at least.
I mean, train's gonna get us moving fast, at least part of the
Yeah.
way. It's
Yeah.
definitely fast.
Slight problem, y'all. How are we gonna get me on a train? I don't
You
know
can
if-
drink whiskey. You can get
Well,
on a train.
You can walk. You can move. You can get on a train.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm like, I don't have any money, and I don't know if I'm going to show up in any
You
pictures.
don't need money to get on a train, little lady. You just get on the train when no one is looking. It's easy.
I'm betting the only reason why we can see you is because of Rabbit Rabbit. I bet you nobody else can see you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can try it and see what happens. But then again, I say, taking another big swig of the moonshine, have to admit, it's kind of nice being able to drink as much of this as I want.
You don't know that now. You might get sick and drunk even though you're dead. You should be careful.
You said, Aussie, that you were at the funeral. You said you were at the funeral. Nobody saw you there, did they?
Not that I remember.
Well, if they had, they would have been hollering all over the place. What do you think would have happened?
I think that would have caused a bit of a commotion.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see her either at the funeral, did we?
Yeah. So
well, we weren't really looking.
No, you were looking at the grave.
To be fair, I wasn't exactly in the crowd at my funeral. I was sort of like floating. I didn't really have
around like a leaf or something.
I didn't. Yeah, I was sort of not okay. Only way I can describe it is, you ever have those dreams where you're flying and you can see all the little things below you?
No, I can't say I have.
It was kind of like.
I'll tell you, if I was a ghost, I'd walk up to y'all and poke you and see.
So no. So I don't know if anyone else can see me. I really don't.
We'll find out pretty soon.
One way to find out.
Let's get to the real line there. See if we can get a steal a march on whatever's been doing this stuff.
Would it be faster to take the train or doesn't Zola have a car? An automobile?
Oh, you're right. I don't know.
Kind of vehicle.
I don't think any of you would have a car.
And even if any of us did, I don't think it would fit us all.
Probably not. But
you could ride on the hood.
Yeah, that's right.
Like those Rolls Royces with the lady on them, you'd be like on the hood,
compartment.
Turn the ghost into a hood ornament. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to try to get on the cargo train, it leaves at 9 a.m., which it's past. Let's say it's around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have you have the night if you're going to do that. Of course, you could always take the road, try to catch a ride.
We need to get hunting supplies because we got to make it look like we're just going hunting out in the woods.
Yeah,
right.
When we go looking for and then we'll also have weapons in case.
I give Floyd his grandpappy's flask back because I probably shouldn't hold on to that.
I got my rifle with me. I brought it down, so in case I did get some hunting in. So I'm ready to go with that. Obviously, we're gonna get some supplies. I think we're gonna be walking part of this way. At some point, we're gonna be going through the woods. I would think, especially to get to this Witcher lady's cottage and see if we can find this named witch.
But we should probably bring some camping gear because that's going to be.
Oh yeah.
If the road only gets us 30 miles, we're going to need to walk 20 miles to get there.
Yeah. And I'm all set up. I'm traveling all the time. I don't need to pick anything up.
Yeah.
I don't need much of anything really. I'm dead.
I mean, if we're gonna jump a train, though, we got to probably get one of those little sacks they have with on
a little bindle on a stick. Yeah, you should get one of those.
Hey, but are we gonna be able to jump on a train with?
Oh, it's easy now. It's easy.
And it usually stops in town in Dismal for pick up some things. So if you time it right, you probably could. And WE would know all that.
Yeah, there's a trick to it, and ain't hard done.
All right. I'll trust you on that one.
Sounds like a fun adventure.
So, is that your initial plan to try to get on the train? All right. You have some time before the next day. What are you going to do during that time?
I'm gonna try and figure out what exactly I can and can't do as a ghost. I mean, I've never been a ghost before, so I've got no idea what my limits are or anything like that.
Can you walk through walls and stuff?
I have no idea.
And with the rocks and the trees there, you go to try to move through them, and it's like you're a real person. You try to walk through it, and you just knock right into it.
Oh, come on!
You also feel a little bit of pain when you do that too.
Really?
This is a funny kind of death you got there, lady.
I know.
Wait a minute, are you even in the ground? I mean, I don't want to dig you up none, but are you even in the ground right now?
Believe me, I am.
Okay.
Or at least the other former me. Oh, it's so confusing.
If you ask me,
Yeah.
you are trapped halfway between life and death.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a little material.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like he said at the end, you can choose one way or the other.
I mean, I suppose, but I mean, technically, wouldn't that mean if I don't know, come back in this current body I'm in, would that mean there's two of us technically, or how's that gonna work?
Maybe
I don't think you should worry about
body.
that too much. That'll hurt your brain.
So I'm going to prepare a number of magics and spells in case they are needed. And other than that, I'm just bringing my knife. And I'm not a good shot anyway. I got a wonky eye.
Okay.
But food stores and, backpack and whatever we might need, and a walking stick.
So a couple things mechanics wise. You each have skills, and we'll get when we do skill checks and they're called tasks. We'll get into this, but one thing that I want to mention is there are 3 different X's next to your skills: T, S, and I. T stands for trained, S means specialist or specialized, and I means inability. If you have a T, that means that when you try to do something like that, it's eased, meaning the difficulty is 1 less. And we'll get into what difficulty is. If you're trained, the difficulty is 2 less. If it's an inability, that does not mean you cannot do it. It just means that you're hampered, meaning that it's 1 more difficult. And again, when we get into the task, we'll talk about how you can how they work, how you can move the difficulty down even further, and so on. But
so T is easiest, S is harder, and I is hardest.
T is easiest. T is easiest. T is easy. S is easiest. I is harder. Okay. And when we get to that, and you'll notice too that the skills are. There's really no defined list of skills in the game. So the skills that you have there, you can, use them how you see fit as long as I agree with it. We're also going to do something else. We're going to kind of roll back just about 2 minutes. Aussie, when you're trying to figure out how corporeal whatever you are, you try to walk through a tree. We're going to do something called a GM intrusion, and what this means is I get to do something unexpected or kind of change the situation, make it worse for you. If you accept, you get 2 XP. You get to keep 1 XP, and then you give 1 XP to somebody else. You can refuse, but it costs you 1 XP. You don't have any XP right now, so you can't refuse. So we'll say what happens is you see a tree, and you're trying to, figure out, can you get through it? And so you kind of take a running start, smack right into that tree. You lose 1 point from your might pool.
That's
fair. You do get 1 XP, and you can give 1 XP to anybody else.
All right. That was a real bad idea.
You're gonna get a shiner from that, I think.
That's not fair either. It's not supposed to work like that. You're supposed to do that.
Whoever thought of a ghost with a black eye? All right. As for the XP, the person here who's at least given me at least a little bit of information as to what exactly I am would be Ira. So do you want it?
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right.
I have learned by observation. That you can't get to Hogwarts by going through that tree.
No.
Hogwarts? What's that?
All right,
My
so
granny had a cure for that.
you've got some time. It's where you're gonna go into town to try to get any supplies or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of you.
Sure, why
I
not?
mean,
just-
I might as well
Yeah.
see if anyone can see me. Probably
Okay.
could. I don't know.
Oh, that could be a panic in the town if that does happen.
Don't
That's
screw
true.
with people.
You know what? Let's
Just
check with the
kind of-
town
kind of
drunk
curious
first just
about
to see if he sees you. No one will care if he does. What was that
W-
town drunk's name again? Was it like,
W.
Yeah.
yeah, where is he?
Well,
Was that a
trying
gallon?
to think
or
of the
something?
one from Mayberry.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't talk to him none. Ugh.
We'll say his name is Ralph.
Ralph.
Um,
Okay.
you actually, yeah, as you're heading into town, from the woods, and you all, despite the fact that it's 20 years later, you could walk that path blindfolded. You get back into town, and you see Ralph, the town drunk. It's early afternoon by this point, and he's had a little bit so far. Prohibition has come and gone, so drink is definitely available. Although he's probably into the moonshine, and you all start to walk past him, and he's just kind of watching you all. Go on, sorry.
I'm being real quiet. I don't want to try and make a big commotion if he can't see me.
It's hard to tell, but it almost looks like he kind of like nods to Ira, W.E. Floyd, and Zoa, but he doesn't nod to you. Almost like maybe he really doesn't see you.
Say
All
hi
right.
to him. Say hi to him. Say hi to him.
Yeah.
Hello?
No response. He
All
kind
right.
of like perks his ears, like maybe he heard something, but he just kind of shrugs it off. You hear him mumble under his breath, "Damn chickens, making noise again."
All right. I sort of murmur to the rest of us as we're heading past. All right. So that apparently they can't see me, but they might be able to hear me a little.
Well, that's sort of
Like-
useful.
Like a breeze in the summer, like the rustling of grass.
Mhm.
Well, that's not. Could be a lot worse, actually.
I've
But
often thought that the rustling of the wind through the tree leaves sounds like voices, and I'm not so sure it's not.
maybe. But he thought I was his chickens. Come on now.
And
Oh, maybe he listens to his chickens.
Maybe they talk to him. back.
Yeah, they might even tell him something useful. You never know. Birds
I
know
mean-
things, Birds
I mean-
know a lot of things.
I mean, after Rabbit, nothing's off the table.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah, I mean, we just kind of accept that. So, yeah.
So I get all the supplies that I need.
Yeah. So you go to the supply store. Again, you're still fairly familiar with this, with the town. Even though you've been gone for a while. The supply store is run by a gentleman named Ira Tuttle. It has pretty much everything you want, but Ira, what are you the only one going? Is anybody else going to go into the store?
Might as well have a peek around. I can since they can't see me.
Yeah.
I might be able to see stuff other people. I might be able to do some stuff the rest of these corporeal boys can't.
Mhm.
Okay.
I was thinking about picking up maybe another 12 ammo for some shotgun shells
Okay.
or whatever for my bullets for my rifle.
Mhm.
You have a rifle, not shotgun. Right? Yep, rifle.
Good
Yeah,
afternoon, Mr. Tuttle.
He's like, "Welcome. What can I get you all?" And you kind of give him his the list of supplies. W and Floyd, are you going into, or are you just hanging outside?
I think I'll just sort of hang outside and scope out the territory.
Okay.
We're putting together a little hunting party. We're going hunting up north.
Ah,
Probably going to camp out for a couple of days.
All right. Well, it should be good weather for that. I think I've got everything that you need here. I need to go in the back and grab some stuff. So give me 1 second. He turns around and goes into the back. The three of you are, and throughout this whole time, he's really, talking to Ira and Zoa, Aussie. He's, just
Right.
it's like you're not even
he
even
can't
there.
see me.
Right.
However, because he can't see me, I'm gonna sort of follow him as he goes to the back, just to sort of, hey, I ain't never seen what's in the back room of this place, so why not?
So you start going into the back. You start following him, Ira and Zoe. You can see, Aussie doing this. Aussie, as you walk into the back, everything goes black. Almost like somebody turned out the lights.
We don't see her disappear or anything, right?
You see her walk into the back, but that's, really all that you can see.
We assume
What?
she's just...
As in, like, the power just went out, or
Yeah, like it just all of a sudden became, nighttime. It's pitch black in there.
huh? I glance up at the where I think the electric light is.
As
Am I affecting that?
you can't really see it. I mean, you can see where it was, but it's completely black. As you're kind of like feeling around or looking around, all of a sudden in front of you, a light comes on, a candle light. It's just like immediately appears, and you see Ira Tuttle, the proprietor, standing in front of you, maybe 4 or 5 inches from you, holding a candle. And he looks at you and says, "You should not be going on this trip."
Not. Unfortunately, it's not really my choice, sir.
No, you don't understand. You should not be going on this trip. None of you should. This is not for you. And as he says that, your eyes are slowly adjusting to the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And behind him, you can see 2 glowing red eyes, and you start to hear a growl, like a low guttural growl.
Boys, we ain't alone.
Ira and Zoe, you hear her call from the back.
She's still talking? Good God. What'd she say? We're not
Feel like
alone?
she need maybe some help or something. Let's kind of take a peek.
Mr. Tuttle's got a friend, a not so nice one.
That's all she says. I'm right in that room. What's going on in here, Tuttle?
So you run. Are you going with them?
Yeah, I'll go with them.
All right. So you two go running. All of this happens super fast, where as you two enter the room, this thing, you see this flash of white fur, these 2 red glowing eyes jumping at Aussie. Aussie, go ahead and let's do a task. So this is going to be like a defense task. So in this case, I would say that this is going to be a speed roll.
Okay.
The way that rolls work, tasks work in here is I will give you a task difficulty from 0 to 10.
Okay.
What that number is, you'll multiply it by 3, and that's the number that you need to roll higher than or equal to on a d20.
Okay.
So obviously, if it's a 10 times 3 is 30, you can't roll that on a d20. So the way that this works is you use your skills, your ciphers, your pool, basically anything, to solely reduce that difficulty number. Try to get it down as low as possible. If you get it to 0, then it's an automatic success.
right.
So we'll say that for this, this is going to be a difficulty 3 speed test. So
All right.
There's one other thing that you can do. You can apply what's called edge effort to the roll as well. What that means is for that particular test, you spend points from that pool, and that will reduce it. Because you were all basically tier one, you can only do this once, and it would cost 3 points. So in this particular case, if you spent 3 points from your speed pool, that would lower the difficulty from 3 to 2.
Okay.
So,
Actually, I've got two things I might be able to use in this case,
okay.
possibly, unless this is already tied to it. I've got trained without armor, and obviously I can't be wearing armor. I'm dead.
Okay.
So I think that gets me down.
So that means you're trained in speed defense task, which this is definitely is. So that moves it down from 3 to 2. Also say if you have edge in a particular pool, that means it always costs one less point to utilize something from that pool.
Where would it say if I had it?
It'll be like where you see might, speed, and intellect. At the bottom, you have pool and edge. You do not have anything in
not in speed. I do have it in intellect, though.
Right.
All
so
right.
You got it down to 2 right now. You could,
which would be a 6. So so is definitely doable. I don't think I can do anything else.
I mean, you could spend 3 from your pool, from your
I don't think I want to blow it that early, though.
That's there are ways to get it. So to let you know as well, there are ways to get points from your pool back. So you can do recovery rolls. You have, and you'll see this on your sheet where it says recovery rolls. You have 4 recovery rolls that you can do per day. The first one takes 1 action, takes about 10 seconds. The second one takes 10 minutes. The third, 1 hour, and the fourth, 10 hours. When you do a recovery roll, you roll a d6, you add 1 to it, and then you can add that many points back to any pool that you want.
Oh, all right. Well,
split it between pools.
I suppose.
Yeah, you can split it between pools.
I suppose for a first time working with this, it's a tutorial, as it were. Might as well try it out. So, you know what? I'll do that.
Okay. So you're going to spend 3 points from your speed pool.
Which gets me down to 9. And
right. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Which gets me down to 9 points altogether.
Right. And so that knocks the difficulty down to 1.
1.
So if you are, unless, you can think of another way to lower it even further, you can roll, and you need to get a 3 or higher.
I don't think I really can do anything else, but let me see. No. Nah, don't think so.
Okay.
Well, crossing fingers. Here we go. Ha 14.
Nice. So as well, if you roll a 1 or a 17 through 20, let me know, because special things happen as well.
Okay.
And again, I will remind you all, through this. I know it's a lot to take in the last couple minutes, but Aussie, this thing of, it's really hard to see what it is, but you see horns, you see these red glowing eyes, you see this fur. Ira and Zoa, as you enter that room, you see this flash. It jumps at you. Aussie, you jump out of the way, and the next thing you all know, the room is lit. Ira Tuttle is standing there looking a little shocked that you're all of a sudden in his back room. He's like, I'm bringing it all out to you. Don't worry. The thing is no longer there.
What? Boys, just head on back. Don't give them any more reason to think something's up.
We thought we heard something.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you all right? You all right, Ira?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I just dropped something. Just trying to find that last bit of stuff that you need.
Well, we're sorry. It sounded like something fell on you.
Oh, no, I'm good. I appreciate you worrying about me.
So as we're going back into the store, and I'm sort of pushing Aussie ahead of me, like, maybe you shouldn't go snooping around.
I don't
Don't know
think
what
it.
the hell that was.
I
What the
don't think it
hell
had
was
anything.
that?
I don't think it had anything to do with me leaving y'all. I thought that might have been something at first, but whatever that was, I didn't like it. It wasn't. It
Well,
was.
no, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that if we're not there and something happens to you, you know,
Did
we
it
can't
talk to you or
protect you.
anything?
It it talked to
What?
me, said we shouldn't be doing this. That it wasn't. How'd he put it? It wasn't for us.
Where there is darkness, there is light. Where there is light, there is darkness.
And whatever
So
that was very, very dark.
well, it's in opposition, perhaps, to Rabbit Rabbit. And the problem is that we don't know if Rabbit Rabbit is a good guy or a bad guy. Most likely, he's just neutral. But we did make a promise 20
And I
years
mean,
ago.
it's not like he I don't know, was chewing on your leg or anything. He just called in a favor.
He is our promise that we're making and that we're living up to is just to find this Witcher woman.
That's all he asked us to do.
That's really all he asked us to do. So we don't have to do anything that might either, whether it's good or bad, like prevent the dam from going up or
Well, I mean, if we find her,
take
she'll
the
be able
dam out.
she'll be able to take the river and take the dam out, but or rather, let's hope we find her, because if we find her and she ain't in good shape, well,
Well, as I see it, if we're on the side of the wrong and we do something wrong, God's not going to blame us because we're just doing the honorable thing, and it's their fault if they've misled us. But I don't want to
exactly.
kill anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd rather not too, but
I mean,
whatever
it could
that
be much worse. I've heard about spirits making deals where you have to sacrifice a baby or something like that to them. And that's not
ooh,
going to, I think you'd rather
No.
be dead than have somebody sacrifice a baby
oh
to save your
no,
life.
no baby sacrifice, y'all. I might haunt you for the rest of eternity if you do.
Oh my.
So, as you all are in there, WE and Floyd, you're standing outside. I think this is a good place for another GM intrusion.
Uh-oh.
WE,
Yeah.
you're gonna get recognized, and
Oh,
since you don't have
what?
XP, you don't
I
get to
can't
refuse
say
this
no.
one.
I
All right,
can't.
so
Okay,
so you get 1 XP, and
All
Floyd,
right.
you get 1 XP. The big thing, I can't remember if I said this or not, with XP is it does allow you to re-roll rolls. You can save it towards the end and at the end use it to increase your character stats and so on. But during the game, you can definitely use it to re-roll, failed rolls, things like that. But WE, you and Floyd are standing out there. And you see somebody walking down the road who you vaguely recognize. It's a man, a very tall, elegant man, has a very thin beard, wearing a very exquisitely tailored charcoal-colored suit, very out of
Oh,
place.
yeah.
You remember him. You've seen him around the railroad. You think he's a railroad man,
Oh,
and
it's like one of the owner types or something.
you actually don't know.
Looks-
You know he has some position of authority, but you aren't quite sure,
Oh, he's a
what it is.
he dresses like a boss. He's a boss.
He
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
dresses like a boss. And as he's coming down the road, he sees you and starts heading right towards you and Floyd. And as he gets close to you, he has this big smile on his face. He looks at you and says, "Hello. I believe that I've seen you before near the railroad. Is that correct?"
There's a lot of people who look like me. Probably not.
Yes, I think I have. Are you planning to grace the railroad with your presence, you and your friend here?
Now, why would I want to grace the railroad with my presence?
Oh, the railroad goes everywhere. The railroad is across the land, ever onward, ever forward.
It's true. It does get somewhere. It is good for that. So, do you work at the railroad there, sir? You look a bit like a fancy fellow. Do you like run the place or something?
Oh, I do many things for the railroad.
Hmm. Do you work on the railroad? Do you travel the railroad? Do you own the railroad? Does the railroad own you?
Let's just say it's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But you both look like you may be needing assistance. Can the railroad help you?
Yeah, I guess it could. How far can it get us if we want to go on it?
Well, where are you going? The railroad goes ever onward, ever forward.
What's sorry, Tyler, what's the name of the place we're going to again?
You're going to Langley.
Can she get us to Langley?
Oh, up north.
Yeah.
It's a bit far. No, I don't believe that the railroad can get you all the way, but it could probably get you within an hour's walk of Langley or
Well, that,
close by.
well, that'd be nice of the railroad if she could do that for us.
Oh, yes. Uh, if you'd like, I'd be more than happy to do this as a favor towards you. Of
Well, now
course,
that
I may need something in return later
Yeah,
on.
no, I think I know where you're coming from. So that would extend to the group of us then, correct? It's not just me and my buddy here.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to overstep my bounds. So just you
Well,
at some
don't do me.
point.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know you. That's fine. But you'd help us all get where we need to go.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right,
That
I
would
see.
be, a little rude of me, I think.
Yeah, all right. That's something I can work with. I'm used to when people favors.
All right. Well, and he reaches in to his pocket, pulls out a black-edged business card, and hands it to you. Go ahead and give me a intellect defense roll. The difficulty is 7.
Oh, I ain't gonna make that, Lan.
So, but let's, we
All
can
right.
see
Well,
if we can.
I can burn. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. When something, I got this thing called throw salt. When something bad happens, you can act on your beliefs to dispel it. Uh, Something about GM intrusions and stuff. Before I take the card from him, I'm going to spit my hands, rub them together, get the lucky spit on there, and I'm going to take the card after I've rubbed the lucky spit in. Can I do that? Is that something that seems plausible?
Yeah, I'd say you could do that. That would lower it to a 6.
To a
Still
six.
really high.
Yeah. All right, I'll burn some pool, so I'll get it to a 5.
Okay.
Does sense and danger is a trained thing? Does that help at all?
I would say in this case it absolutely does. So that would
Get
you're
to a
trained in
4.
that. So yeah, that drops it down to a 4.
Now, I don't know if I can get it any lower than that. What else could I possibly do?
I'm looking at all of your things. Not really.
All right, well, that's a 12 or better. That ain't the great odds. Here we go. 14. Well, all right,
Nice.
that's
You
not so
got it.
bad.
So you take the business card.
Mhm.
He's smiling the whole time. Floyd,
Mhm.
you're watching this whole interaction, and you're getting just like some unhappy vibes. But you take it. WE, as you take the card, you can feel almost like this negative energy on it.
Mhm.
And as he hands it to you, he holds on to it just for a second too long, smiling the whole time, and then lets go. You
Mhm.
almost get the feeling like maybe he's a little bit surprised that
Mhm.
nothing happened, but he smiles and
Mhm.
says, well, the train leaves promptly at 9 a.m.
No, we
Please
know.
make sure you're there because the train goes ever onward,
Oh, yeah.
ever forward. And with that,
Yeah.
he turns around and walks off. Walks down
I,
the road.
I'm going to hold this card gingerly like, and I'm going to wrap it in a white cloth and tie it up. keep it kind of all the negative energy contained. And then
All
I'll
right.
put it in one of my pockets I don't touch too often.
Okay. And at this point, Irazoa and Asi, you come um, out of the store with all of your supplies. If you were to look down the street, you would probably see this very exquisitely tailored man in a suit walking away.
Uh, does my do I discover that I have a little bit of mystic sense right about now?
I would say that you've probably known that you do, but yeah.
Ooh, I don't like him.
Well,
Oh yeah, you definitely don't.
yeah, that gentleman was a gentleman of the railroad, and wherever he's got going for him, he's guaranteed us a safe trip up to about an hour away from where we're going. So we just
You
got to
did
make
what?
it on time.
What?
Don't worry about it, none. We did what we had to do to make things go a bit easier. So we're just going to get on the train and get as close as we can get.
You're muted.
Oh, you're
Thom.
muted there, Ira. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm a quiet one.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Whaley, we got to be careful. We just had something very strange happen to us
Oh,
inside.
that guy was strange. There's something wrong with him.
I think that there are forces, dark forces, that are trying to work against us doing what we're supposed to do.
Although
So
that
be careful.
that particular gentleman seems to want us to head that way. So maybe there's competing agendas, as it were.
I think he just wants us to use the railroad. I think that's what he wants. Because that's what he seems to like from the way he talks.
And he basically guaranteed that you'd be able to get on. Otherwise, you were probably going to have to be sneaking on to the train if you were going to
I
take
think we
it.
got an easier passage as a result, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll I don't like it, but if it gets us to Langley quicker.
Yeah.
All right.
Care what deals we're making. We just keep getting deeper and deeper.
I know. I'm going to run out of space for deals if I'm not careful.
Now, Rabbit told us that if the dam goes through and we don't find the witch, that something might be released. And
Yeah,
there
he
are
did.
old gods. There are old gods underneath those mountains
Yeah.
that we need to be careful of. And these could be, what do I want to say?
Agents of them, maybe?
Servants or agents of them. We have to be careful. Something awful tried to attack us.
They did?
Told
What
us-
happened?
Told
Why
us
would you want
not
us
to
to
go.
get up there to stop it if
Yeah,
Who
there
the what
was
now?
there was like some horny, furry, red-eyed thing possessing Mr. Tuttle. Told
Horny?
me that we ain't supposed to go on this trip, that it's not for us.
Mhm.
And then
So
tried to
guard
and then,
yourselves.
and then tried to
Alright.
leap at me.
Yeah.
At least I kept my quickness,
Yeah.
dead or not.
Watch out for the tricks of the dark.
well, we're two for one. Two of them didn't do anything to hurt us, actually kind of helped us, and then that one attacked you. So I think maybe we can
There's
go.
always a balance in these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Something also that we should mention. Rabbit's a trickster.
Yeah.
So be careful even of Rabbit. I mean, we'll do what we promised to do, but there could be a catch in there. We just got to watch ourselves.
Probably
Yeah.
is. Ain't nothing
Rabbit
free
is-
in this world.
Rabbit is no great friend to humanity because we done killed so many of his kith
Yeah.
and kin.
We got to keep our word. It's got to count for something.
That's the important part.
Your word, that's a strong omen. That's a strong thing to have in your back pocket and keep your word.
Well, I think we're probably going to take a rest here before we leave early in the morning. You think?
Might as well.
That's like a
Yep.
good idea.
We got to be on
Alright.
time, though. We'll make sure
Oh,
we're
yeah.
there for 9.
All right.
Well, I got to head then to the edge of the town and find myself a place to camp out. Whaley, you
Are
probably
you
the
are you a
same.
gentleman of the road too, Ira? I didn't know that.
Like I say, I mean, I don't have any place around here. I got $1 to my
Oh yeah.
name.
Well, let's make ourselves a little jungle or something. I don't know. Just unless you guys want to join us.
I mean, I
Well,
got
you
it.
might as
The
well.
outdoors.
I might as well. I'm dead. I can't
Yeah.
exactly rest in my casket. I'd rather not do that,
That
thanks.
kind of cramped. You'd get a crick in your neck.
And
Do
you know,
sleep?
Hmm?
Do you even need to sleep?
I don't know. I mean, might as well see if I need to.
Well, you can at least turn the other way so that when we're sleeping, you're not staring at us.
Oh yeah,
beyond the
I wouldn't be able to
grave.
sleep if you did that.
Would
That'd be
I do
horrible.
that?
Be
Well,
our
you
lookout.
might.
Oh, come on, Ira. I never peeked. Come on.
Yeah, don't stare at a man when he's sleeping. He's
Well, I don't know.
vulnerable.
Quite honestly, inside, I thought you were following him into the bathroom. But
I wanted to
What?
see what
What are you doing now, Aussie? That ain't right. Don't be
I
like
wanted to
that
see-
now. Just because
want-
they can't see you doesn't mean you can go watch them do whatever they're going to do. That's just wrong.
I wanted to see the back room of the store.
Okay,
Ira,
well, that's
come
a
on now.
likely excuse now. Oh my God. You give a woman a little bit of power, and look what she does. She goes spies on a man. Oh, now you're making me worry.
Game Master, is there a way to like draw on my occult knowledge to see if I can figure out what's going on, or do we just let me figure it out as we go along?
What specifically?
Well,
Like it,
a railroad demon or
Yeah, I think that's
guardian
kind of what he might be.
spirits or something like that.
you
Old legends or lore that
Or
I've heard.
whatever that hornet thing was.
Hold on. Tyler, what was the name on the card?
there is no name on the card.
Oh,
It's
there is
just
no name.
completely black.
Completely black.
It has a little
Okay.
bit of design, like a gold embossed design,
but no
but
name
there's
on it.
no name.
Okay.
I'll hold it up to the light and see if it's shiny and not shiny.
I don't think you should touch it. It's kind of dangerous, maybe.
Well, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
But
I'll show it to you, but don't touch it now.
All right, so if you want to do that, I would say it's an understanding magic roll, and in this case, we'll say that it is a difficult roll, so a difficulty of 4. However, since you have an inability in understanding magic, and understand, I think everybody in terms of magic has inabilities, just because it's something so foreign and you're essentially first level characters.
Don't the sages have training in that?
I'm specialized in that.
Oh,
I have an X in the T.
Yeah, you're trained.
for understanding magic? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong person. Sorry.
I'm unable because I'm just an ignoramus, but I'm pretty sure the sages know what
Okay.
they're looking at.
I mean, and I'm betting because I'm a ghost, I have a bit more of an understanding of magic than most.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was reading the wrong column. I apologize. So yeah, it's a what did I say? It was a difficulty of 4. You're trained in so Ira, you're trained in understanding magic, so that automatically drops it to a 3. So you'd have to roll a 9 or above unless you can unless you want to reduce it even further. Again,
Well, I've
you can
also got-
spend. Go
I've
on, I'm
got
sorry.
one edge. I've got one edge.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
means that if you want to use effort for that, it will only cost you 2 instead of 3 points.
Okay, and so I reduce my effort down to 0 now.
No. Your effort always stays at
Okay,
1.
1.
You'd reduce your pool by 2, your intellect pool by 2.
Yeah, I'll do that.
While he's doing that, can I do a recovery roll for my speed?
Sure, go ahead.
So what do I need now then? A 2?
So you've reduced
6.
it twice to 2. So yeah, you would need a 6 or higher.
On a 20-sided.
20.
Can
I
I
got a
go
15.
higher than my initial value or not?
No, you can only go.
No? Okay.
That's a good question, actually. I think you can only go to what your initial value is, but I will double check that in a
Okay.
little while.
Okay, I got a 15, so I
All right.
passed.
You look at this. It's kind of like you would expect it to be catching light in the because it's still like early or late afternoon, evening, but it's like it's almost like absorbing the light, and you definitely feel this negative energy coming off of it, and you kind of feel like maybe somebody could be because WE made a promise for a favor in return that this can be used to compel him to do that. However, the way that he described it before, he was able to essentially resist it.
Hmm. Yeah, he is trying to get a grip on your soul.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll keep my word as long as it's reasonable, but yeah, I don't like having my soul messed with.
I don't know anything about any of this granny magic, hoodoo, voodoo. But
Oh,
I'm looking at that card, and that looks like something an undertaker would use, not a railroad man.
yeah, well,
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a railroad man. I'm sure
he
that was probably
he
some sort of spirit.
he didn't
yeah,
he didn't feel like he didn't feel like a human. He felt like, I don't know, bad. Like
And so,
like when you've got weevils in your flour, that bad.
they're crunchy and tasty.
there is magic in the world. Here, I could prove it. Pick a card, any card.
Oh man, I'm no good at those. Uh,
I mean, there's something going on. Obviously, we're talking to Ozzy, and she's been dead a couple of days now. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Just take the warning. There are
Mhm.
dangerous forces in the world that are opposed to us finding the Mander Witch.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder why
And
why they call her that actually.
Mander.
Does it really mander?
Oh my Ira. Oh,
Ira.
my
and as,
if
as
you
you
want
all
family, I would totally give you the back of the hand right for that one. Oh,
as you all
goodness.
groan with that, the rest of the day and night passes pretty uneventfully. Asi, you don't really sleep. You can close your eyes, but you never really fall asleep.
All right.
The
Don't
rest
seem-
of
Don't
uh,
seem to need to.
Right. The rest of you, you sleep maybe a little bit fitfully. Mechanically, I'm going to say anybody who spent points from their pool gains them back
All right.
because of the rest. Typically, normally I would have you roll, but you didn't spend that many points, and that feels a little off. Plus, if you like Aussie, you did do some rests. Those are all wiped out now. You start fresh every day.
Great.
You
Good to
all
know.
get up early the next morning, head over to the train, and the train is stopped. And as if it were expecting you, there is one train car. Again, this is a cargo train, it's not a passenger train. There's one train car that's open that you are able to just get into.
All right.
All right. I settle into a corner with my fiddle and, wait for the rest of y'all to get all your stuff in here.
You
God, here
you
it comes.
the
Oh, now come on now. She's good at what she does with that.
Mm.
Not like when she was younger and it was pretty horrible. Yeah, I remember that. That used to give me
I
horrible
was
issues.
12.
You
I
were.
kept wishing-
I'm glad you practiced, woman, because you were just not. No, you were no. You
Yeah,
were
I
not a
kept wishing-
virtuoso or whatever back then. Oh
I
my
kept
god.
wishing somebody would kill that cat.
Oh yeah, it's long dead.
Well
Oh
then.
yeah, don't. Yeah, careful. There's a kitty in the audience.
Well,
Don't-
well then, I won't trouble you with any renditions of Orange Blossom Special if that's what you're worried about.
The train whistle goes off, and you can feel the train lurch as you start going down the tracks. Things on the train itself, the trip, are pretty smooth. You're going through the Pennsylvania countryside, heading north. You go past farms and over bridges and through deep woods that you can't see very far, and after a while, you kind of get the feeling that you're getting close to where the train is going to turn off. In fact, you've been going basically due north the whole time, and you can start to feel the train turn east. And this is where you would want to get off.
Yeah, because it's going to slow down at the turn too. So we're going to have to make a.
But it's not slowing down.
Okay, we're going to stop the jump thing, guys.
We're going to have to jump.
Yep.
Oh, lovely. Here we go.
So, in fact, that's what you're going to have to do. And we'll say that this is going to be a task 3 speed test for you to jump off the train. It's not going super fast, but it is going fast enough. So that means you need to roll a 9 or above, unless you can reduce it.
Okay, I'm definitely going to use my trained in speed defense to bump that to a 2.
Okay.
Is this manual dexterity, would you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm trained in manual dexterity. So
okay.
Well,
I'm tuck and roll. That's like
I'm actually trained in train hopping. So can I give everybody a good timing when to jump out?
You know what? I will allow that. So that's going to be kind of a. I'm gonna have to see what the rules are for something like that, but yeah, we'll say that yes, that's you are definitely trained in this, so everybody can reduce it by an extra step too.
Woohoo! Level 1 for me.
So
You're
it
gonna be
was
the one who rolls the 2.
we starting at 3 or 4? I'm sorry. What did you say?
We're starting at 3, so the more you reduce it, take that number, multiply it by 3.
I can reduce
Okay,
it
I
by
passed.
edge
I got a
to
12.
2.
Okay.
Are we going
I'm
through
good,
the wilderness
15.
right now?
We are going through the wilderness,
So
actually.
I think I
We're in
can
the middle
do
of
my,
nowhere.
I got a. What was it? What was it?
Tarzan roll.
I wish I. Yeah, my Tarzan. Nope, that's not going to work. So I could take it down to 2 with my edge, and if I spend 3 effort, I could take it down to 1.
Okay.
Which would be I'd have to get 3 or higher. I think I can
Correct.
do that.
Actually, so Zoa, for you, you only have to spend 2
Oh, that's right, because of my edge.
Because of your edge.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm at 10.
And so all of you roll. Floyd, I'm gonna throw in a GM intrusion for you. As everybody's kind of jumping and getting ready, it's your foot gets caught on just like a piece of leather, or actually probably like a wooden block that's like nailed to the ground to like hold cargo in place. So that's going to increase the difficulty for you by 1. I don't believe you have experience. Is that correct? Or do you?
No, you gave me
He
one.
did, yes.
So you can refuse the intrusion if you want, but you have to spend that XP. If you don't refuse it, then you get an XP and you get to give an XP to somebody.
I'll take the XP.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, when Mr. Train Demon showed up, did the 2 who get the XP have to give the XP to somebody else, or
No, so whenever I do an
to
intrusion, so technically, Floyd, you got 2 XP, you get to keep 1, you give 1 to somebody else.
Well, right. But what I mean is since you did it to 2 at the same time,
He was only doing it to WE.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So, Floyd, who are you giving your XP to?
Since he's the train man, we'll give it to WE.
Okay.
All
right. So everybody, does anybody else need to figure out if they can reduce it any further?
I'm good.
All right, go ahead and roll.
All right, here we
Well,
go.
I got it.
Go ahead and roll.
So I had to beat a 3, and I got a 7. So
Perfect.
Yep, I made it. 12.
Yeah, I got a 15. I'm fine.
Okay.
Ira, what did you get? Is Floyd.
I got an 18.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
perfect. So
special.
18. That's one of the special rolls. If that really only matters in combat, you would do 2 extra points of damage. If you had rolled a 19, you could in combat do 3 extra points, or you can do a minor effect. Basically, gives you a little advantage. If you roll a 20, that's 4 extra points, or a major event, which is like a larger advantage. But you all make it, despite the train not slowing down. And WE, you know that you were absolutely right. The train should have been slowing down in this curve. It's almost supernatural that it wasn't. But you
Yeah.
all jump off the train, tuck and roll, land in some soft grass, and as the train rumbles on, you find yourself in front of a dark woods. Or if you're going to go north, you figure you're probably maybe a half day's walk from the river, based on, we'll say that you have a map, or that you've seen a map. It's going to be about a half day's walk through the woods.
WE, didn't Mr. Train Demon say he'd get us about an hour out from our destination?
Yeah, he might have meant hour by train. That's the kind of
Whatever.
twisty speak type thing they might do.
That's about right.
Unless the destination he was referring to is not the destination we were referring to.
No, he knew where I wanted to go.
All
He's
right,
being
then.
twisty lawyer type,
Those types.
an hour as the crow flies type of thing. But that ain't an hour for people having to blunder through the woods.
All right, then. Well, let's get moving then while we still got some light.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
this is my natural environment, so we will make the most of this and get there as most efficiently as we can.
Yeah.
I'll walk with Joe.
All right. The woods is very thick. It's the middle of summer, so everything is in full summer bloom. You get, maybe like 10 or 15 feet into the woods, and the foliage and the leaves from overhead kind of block out a lot of the sun. It's not, pitch black or anything like that. You can see, you can see, but it's definitely darker than you expect it to be. Sorry.
I was just to say, if as we are walking, I notice any interesting herbalist mushrooms or herbs, since I've got herbalism, I will pick those and put them in my satchel.
You know what? As you are going through, you do see a couple interesting things, but I'm trying to. Here we go. You start going down, and you find some like very thick brown mushrooms under your feet, just kind of like off the side of the trail. So do you have like a skill in herbalism or anything like
Yes.
that?
I'm a trained.
You're trained? Okay. So normally for somebody else, this would probably be like a, simple or standard roll, but for you, you're trained in this. You recognize these mushrooms as deadly webcap mushrooms. They're like thick brown mushrooms with yellow stems. You know that they are very poisonous, even to the touch. Like if you were going to pick them up, you would need to be wearing gloves to do so.
Or I'll use some sticks to pick them
You
up.
could. Yeah. You're trained enough that you can probably safely grab a couple of these if you want.
I glance over to Ira. You think we're gonna need these?
One never knows. I will put them into a special bag. Once they're dried and fixed into a concoction, it can kill rats, can kill vermin of every sort and kind.
Oh, that's true.
It's like you don't wait until you have rats or slugs until you go looking for them. You got to get them when you get them.
No, that's not. There's definitely some truth there, but well, might as well keep on going if you see anything else to be useful.
And you don't want to eat them, by the way. If you're really, really super hungry and you eat these, not going to kill you right away.
Oh
And
no.
the death is going to be
I
horrible.
mean,
Oh.
I'm already
Oh.
dead, but I ain't gonna push it.
Yeah, you can still get indigestion, I'm sure. Oh.
So does anybody not have any XP yet?
I don't have any.
All right.
What?
Perfect.
Oh,
So
shoot.
as
that'd be-
you're traveling for a couple hours, so you're on the train for probably, let's say, 2 or 3 hours. So you jumped off around noon. You're in the woods for maybe an hour or two. the woods are pretty thick, and you actually wonder, it's possible that if there were no woods, you could have been like an hour walk, but because the woods are so thick that it is taking you longer. So you're going through the woods. It takes after about an hour or two. Zoa, you are going to throw a GM intrusion at you as you're walking. You're really kind of not paying attention. In fact, you kind of see some birds, fly by, and that catches your eye. You actually stumble a little bit, and you fall into this hole. You quickly realize that well, actually, before we get to that, first off, you get 2 XP. You get to keep one, and you get to give to somebody. So who do you want to give to?
Well, let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 compatriots. I will roll a D4.
Good as
That's
any
the
way
way
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Let's see who got it. We'll just look of the draw. So that would go to W.E. Whaley.
All right.
Well, thank you kindly, sir.
So the rest of you, you're kind of walking along, and then all of a sudden, Zoa's not there.
Zoa? Zoa, I'm supposed to be the ghost here.
Yeah, he's not that quiet.
I'm
Sure, he was
down
talking about
here.
something. Well,
I'm
Where
down
are you none?
here.
You
Where?
all can you can hear him. In fact, Zoe, you stand up, and you're probably in a hole, maybe up to your waist. So, you all see Zoe stand up, kind of like, waist high in the ground. Zoe looking around, and as all of you get closer, you realize that you're in a shallow grave.
My.
Looking
Wow.
around, you can see that there's some partial remains of a skeleton in the grave that you had fallen into. You can see, the most of the body, the skull, its arms. Its arms are clutching what looks like a weathered journal. And as the rest of you get closer, you can also see that there are some of the bones that are outside of the grave, and there are claw marks on the earth around, and you even see some on the bones that look quite large.
Like
Well,
a
well,
bear, maybe?
There's
That wild
skeleton
animal
down
probably
here.
dug it up.
Bear could be it.
Well,
So
is there
give me
a-
your hand.
yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
you
I
wanna
got,
be in
it's
that.
got this book in its hands. It's
I'll
book
I'll
time.
get that. Get
Okay,
yourself
all
out.
right.
Yeah, let's get you out
I'll
of
get
there.
you up.
Yeah, I'll pull him up.
Where's his
Next time
tombstone?
when
This
you're
guy
walking-
must have a rock marking his keep.
Well, I'm
resting
sure
place.
I'm sure there's something in the book, but let's I'm sorry, whoever you are, but we kind of would need to know who you are to put you back.
Why would you bury someone out here too? This is a terrible place to bury a
I
man.
dug it up.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like
Alright.
a wild animal probably dug it up, smelled the dead body, and
Oh,
had himself a
God.
lunch.
Oh yeah.
All right,
well,
journal
we gotta
in
eat, we
hand.
gotta eat.
And
Well-
and Ira, you might think that, except the body is like, it's not like there's meat on it. It's pretty decomposed. It mostly just bones. So an animal probably would not have smelled it. This almost feels like it was done deliberately. Aussie, you said you have the journal?
Right, because I murmured to the skeleton, "I'm sorry, whoever you are, but we need to know who you are so we can put you back."
All right. So you I assume you're going to read. You said
Yep.
you're going to read through. I apologize.
Journal.
Would I
Yeah.
be able to tell how recently this was dug up just with my
Oh,
natural
it's
ability to the-
been a long time. Yeah.
I mean, he's been dead a long time. It's
Do
skeleton, but,
you have any skills that would help you with that?
to see like if let's see.
I'd say it's an intellect roll.
Okay. Intellect. Let's see. Would it be like a wilderness explorer?
I think that would definitely apply.
Okay.
We'll say that this would be probably a standard roll, so difficulty 2.
Difficulty
so-
2, so that the wilderness explorer would allow me to take ignore any penalties due to natural causes, such as that's different. Finding the way is trailblazer. I might not be able to argue that one. let's see. So I guess I could. So I have no edge in that, but I guess I could spend. Oh wait, doesn't X? If I spent that XP I just got, I could lower my thing by one, right?
No, the XP lets you reroll.
Oh, that lets me reroll. Okay. So I think I'm at. It's a 2 or a 3. I'm sorry. Was the
So it's a difficulty 2, so you'd have to roll
difficulty
a
2?
6.
So I'd have to roll a
Or
6
better.
or higher. All right, I'm gonna try that
Okay.
without spending anything. So I'll just give it a shot. Give it a whirl. That is a 7 again. So
Oh, perfect. That's
maybe.
hey,
All right.
that's higher than 6. So, looking at the grave, you see that it's fairly recent, maybe a couple weeks, if that. Not definitely not older than a couple weeks. Just by looking at the ground and how much was earth. In fact, the earth itself still feels a little damp. It hasn't had time to dry out.
Was that the digging that was a couple weeks ago, or would that be the would that
Yes,
be
the digging.
burial?
The
Digging.
the
The
the person
digging
was
up.
buried,
Okay.
a while
Oh,
ago.
yeah, they'd be a lot riper if they'd been only
Right.
buried a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Um,
No,
Might not be still around, whatever did this, so that's
Right.
probably a good thing.
no
And-
indication of a gravestone or a marker.
No, you do not see any gravestone. This feels like, this is a unmarked grave.
Before I start flipping through the journal, do I get any sense that anything magical might have gone down here?
Anything what? I apologize.
Do I get a sense that anything magical might have gone down here before I start flipping through the journal?
You can definitely tell that the journal itself, there's something about it. In fact, as you open it up, you can almost see this spectral handwriting and shimmering pages on there.
Hello. Well, I don't think this gentleman died through magical means, but there's something about this book. Spectral rotten, maybe. Let me have a look.
So you're gonna read through it.
Yeah.
All right, so you start reading through it, and it's it probably takes you 5 or 10 minutes to flip through it, and you find out that this journal belonged to a miner named Elijah Turner. He worked for the Langley Coal and Navigation Company, and his journal. At first, it starts off fairly normal. But as it goes on, and as you get towards the end, he's describing his fear of somebody, a large, the way he describes it, a large man cloaked in yellow and red leathers, a man who is no longer a man, who appears at night. He is very fearful of this man. He seems to be the only one who sees it. And the last entry in the journal says, "He comes at moonrise, and I hear the chains dragging behind him. I told the others, but they wouldn't listen. If he finds me here, I'll be gone before the sun."
Well, now, this poor man's been haunted. I wonder.
Excuse me. The journal itself is a cipher. So I don't believe you actually have any
I
cipher.
do not.
All right, so you get this one. Normally, you would the mechanics are a little iffy as to whether or not you know what it is or not. I'm just going to say that you do. That the journal, you feel that if you read passages from it, some of the passages that Elijah had written down, that you may be able to use that to hide yourself from a supernatural entity such as a ghost.
Ooh, and I'm stealthy as it is. So
Right.
this might be interesting.
So as
Ghost
you all
hiding from a ghost.
are kind of are you all doing anything else?
Well, after I, tucked this thing away, I do look at Mr. Turner and I'm like, sorry about this, sir, but I don't think you'll be needing this anymore. But we will put you back. So, let's get him buried.
Yeah, that
Yep.
helps. Yeah,
Put some dirt in there and maybe put up some sticks and put his name on it so he's actually marked.
Maybe don't want to do that. rather feared of this thing coming after him.
Well,
Probably
is it right
buried
that
it-
he doesn't have that he has an unmarked grave? That don't seem right for somebody.
We just put
Something
an
dug him
18.
up, took some of his bones and gnawed on them, and didn't take that journal. Are you sure that journal's safe?
I mean,
You're
I
not
don't-
feeling
I mean-
any like negative energy
no.
from it.
The book is fine. The book is fine. I really don't. I think that this ghost that might have been coming after him might have found him after he died. Possibly. I'm just making a supposition here. And if that's the case, he don't need it. We might.
Let's not dilly-dally.
Yeah.
It's
But
getting
let's-
dark.
I'll bury him. And
All right, so as you all are, you kind of gathering the bones, putting them into the grave, and starting to, basically bury him. You all hear this almost human scream in the woods. You're overcome with the smell of rotten eggs, and about 20 or 30 feet in the woods, you see this large, white, shaggy creature that looks very dog-like with glowing red eyes and horns step out and kind of, snort, looking at all of you. Asi, Ira, and Zoa, this looks very much like the glimpse of what you saw in
Oh,
the
not you again.
general store.
You smell that rotten eggs? That's sulfur. That's I read in the Bible. That's like a demon. That's a demon.
More than likely.
So what would
Be
you all
gone, Satan
like,
spawn.
are you gonna
Day, Satan.
all right.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm
you-
gonna,
Actually,
I'm
you
gonna
know
yell at
what?
it.
I'm going to yell at it too, but because I'm rather irritated right now, I'm going to pop an intellect point for this and shake the bones.
What does that do specifically?
Your words are so powerful, they cause the bones of a creature to shudder and shake, inflicting 2 points of might damage and 2 points of intellect damage.
All right, so it
Must-
sounds like all right. So
Must-
yes, you go on. I'm sorry.
Must be able to hear and understand, or at least get the gist of what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you all can do that. It feels like we're going into combat. So before we do anything else, we're going to do an initiative roll. Initiative is a speed test. I believe some of you have some abilities that allow you to reduce initiative rolls. You're rolling against a difficulty level of 6. So you're going to have to get an 18 or higher. The way that this works is if you roll above the 18 or above, you go before the creature. If you go below it, you go after the creature.
Okay.
So it's 6 currently.
It's 6 currently. Some
this
of you,
one- This wouldn't count as speed defense, would it?
5.
Nope, it's
No.
initiative. There's a skill for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually trained in that. So
No, I'm not.
I'm also going to spend some speed, so I'll knock it down by 2, so it goes down to 4.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm not trained in it, but I will pop my effort to bump it down to a 5.
Okay.
Well, still failed, unfortunately, because a 4 is a 12 or better. So nope. But I didn't. I rolled a 7.
Well, this
Sucks.
I mean, a 15 is not as bad as it could be, so nope. 7.
All right.
It's got to drop on us unless somebody does it.
Let's see.
Floyd, what did you do?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so you're
13 versus I had a 4, so that was 12. 13 over 12. So I
all right.
All right. Zoa's on the ball today.
And Ira,
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do. I'm not much of a fighter. I've got something called applied observation that I gain as I look at a creature or study it. I can anticipate kind of what it's going to do, and I get on my next roll. Uh, let's see,
Yeah,
persuading the creature attacking it, or yeah.
yeah, you can do that, but that's more of an action, and it'll cost you one intellect
Ah,
point to do that.
ah. Okay, so this is just to determine whether I
Right now,
go
we're just
first.
determining what order. Yeah, this is just initiative.
I roll a 3,
All
so
right, cool.
I don't get to go first.
All right, so Zoa, you get to go before anything else. So, what would you like to do?
Well, this thing is scaring the crap. I mean, I know it's a demon, but I got this thing, this witch ball that I've been holding
Ooh.
on to. I'm hoping I got this. I don't know, from some woman, and just I don't know if I ever really believed it, but she told me what I had to do. I'm just gonna grab some of my hair. Well, I don't really have hair, but if I feel so good.
Beard?
I'm gonna
Get
get
some
those hairs. I'm
eyebrows
gonna
in
wrap it
there.
around. Now
Yeah.
this thing, if I'm yeah, if I throw this at this thing, it's gonna inflict it's gonna explode and inflict about 4 points of damage or shrapnel damage on him, and to anyone around. But I'm gonna throw it at this thing that's coming at us, this demon.
Okay. I believe with ciphers, you go with the level of the cipher for the
Yep.
difficulty. So right now the difficulty is 4.
4. Oh,
Since you're throwing it,
speed.
I believe that would be speed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can take it down 1 with my edge.
Well, no, your edge is going to um,
Activate my
it,
cipher. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So the edge lets you reduce the number of points you spend from the pool. So if you want to knock it down, instead of spending 3 points from your pool, you would spend 2.
Okay, so I was at 4, so I'm gonna knock it down. I'm gonna spend 3 points, 2 points from my pool, to knock it down from 4 to 3. That's my speed. I've got fleet of foot, but I don't think that's gonna help me there. Either is my finding the way in wilderness exploring. Um, I do have a skill that allows me to identify and assess danger, uh, power, quality, importance, function. I'm wondering if that skill would allow me just to understand that this thing is dangerous, so I can get a better throw and away from my friends behind me, because I don't want them getting any shrapnel damage on this. Can I get it
Yeah, you know what?
down?
I'll let you use it for that.
Okay, so
You're
get
trying to
down.
figure out, like the best angle to throw it at, and the adrenaline's
Yes, I
pumping.
get it down to 2, so that's 6 or higher.
6 or higher.
All right, let's do this. That is a 20. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Which
wow.
is good. Oh,
Okay.
that's good. That's good. It's not
That's
one.
very good. Yes.
Do-do-do-do,
So you would do 4 points of damage by default. You
Mm-hmm.
can add another 4 points to it, or you can do a major effect. A major effect would be like making it dazed, or kind of hindering it in some way. So which would you like to do?
I have no idea what these demons have for like how much damage that's going to take out. I want to hinder this thing so that when my friends come after it, it's a little easier for them, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Somewhat.
That I think that's good. So so you throw this, it's essentially like a grenade, almost like
Mm-hmm.
you throw it, it explodes. How does the explosion hinder it?
I think it's like a bright light or something that kind of blinds it so it
Okay,
can't see
so
what we're
yeah,
doing.
I think that's perfect. It's blinded now, and will be for the next couple rounds, hindering, making its difficulty, even harder. You definitely do damage to it. In fact, as it explodes, you can see like one of the horns on it, just kind of gets knocked down. Um,
Hey.
Now it's turn. Let's see here. Dear Lord. All right, there we go. WE, it's going to go after you. It starts to
Sure.
charge towards you. Normally, it gets to, I think, attack 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to take a little bit to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is charging at you. Basically, it's trying to gore you with its horns. You roll. The way that this works is I don't roll anything. You are going to roll all your defense rolls. Normally, it would be a difficulty 6, but because of what Zoa did, that knocks it down automatically to a difficulty of 5. So if you can somehow knock it down even further, that is going to help you.
Yeah, well, I got speed defense, so that'll knock it to 4.
Okay.
And I'll spend an effort, so I'll knock it down to 3.
Okay.
So I got a track of that.
So you remember, it's going to cost you when you spend 3 points, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So that put it down to 4 or 3.
So what was it? It went to 6.
It was
to
at 5, right?
And I knocked it down 2 more to 3. Yep, knocked it to 3.
Okay. So you need a 9 or higher.
15.
Nice. So it comes at you. You are easily able to kind of like step out of the way. This thing lets out another kind of inhuman scream, but completely misses you. The 4 of you, Ira, Floyd, WE, and Aussie, you now get to go. You get to choose which order you'd like to go. So whoever would like to go first.
Well, I do think I want to pop my ability, shake the bones.
All right.
And considering that it's definitely a bit debilitated, it doesn't say that there's any type of defense against it, but.
Well, you're still going to be rolling against its level, which is 6, but that gets lowered to 5 because of Zoa. So if you can lower it any further,
all right, let's see.
Let me. I'm trying to find you on here. Shake the bones. It's going to cost you 1 into. Actually, it's not going to cost you any points because you have an edge in intellect.
Okay. In that case, could I possibly, instead of making it words, could I use my fiddle to put my music train into use?
I think that would be perfect. In fact, I would let you use that as an asset, which lets you lower it by 1 more.
Okie doke. I'll make a little note of that. So fiddle is asset for music. So that would knock it to a 3, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think I can do that. Anything else? I think that might be it, actually. So, because actually, the stealth book. Yeah, it's blinded, but if it can't even hear me coming before I start fiddling.
I think the fiddling might cancel that out. The stealth
okay, part. I thought so. I had to at least ask. All right, let's see. Come on, 9. Mama really needs us to hit.
9 or higher.
Nope.
What did you roll? 2. All right. Now remember, you can spend an XP to re-roll if you'd like.
You know what? I really should have passed that. I'm popping the XP.
Okay.
Nine.
Hey, perfect. That's exactly what you need. The fiddle starts going off. The singing along with the fiddle just kind of overwhelms it, and it like digs its head into the ground, almost like it's trying to like cover its ears in some way, as this just you could tell that the reverberations are just hurting it. Ira, WE, or Floyd, whoever wants to go next.
Right, it takes 2 might and 2 intellect damage for that.
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, boys, I'm playing Orange Blossom Special, but it sounds real good.
Yeah, real good.
Oh, Ira don't agree with you on that one, I think.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he's starting to froth at the mouth. Oh, it's not good. Oh, poor Ira. He's going to die now.
But no, and But in all honesty, she actually is a very good player. It's
yeah.
I'm a ghost bard. Ah,
Since I have the least flashy attack available right now, I'll go next because Ira might have something that look very cool as a follow-up. So I'm just gonna slash at him with my machete.
Okay. So that's going to be a might attack.
That's fine. So he's at 5.
Is that 5? Right.
I will spend 2 might because I have a bit of an edge.
Okay. So
To
that
knock
knocks him to
it
4.
to 4. So I need a 12 or better to hit him. And unfortunately, I don't have anything for attacking better, but that's fine.
Okay. That's fine.
So let's see, 12 or better. Oh, no, he's even blinded and fried by the music. He still manages to dodge me. Oh,
XP?
Come on now.
You can use the XP to reroll if you'd like.
No, I'll live with it.
Okay. So you swing with your machete and it just completely misses as it's like ducking its head to with what Aussie is doing. You just miss it. So Ira or Floyd, it's you.
So, Floyd, do you want to go first?
Well, question for the GM, because I have the special ability of push. Is there a way of using that to push it up against like a tree or something that would cause it damage? Other than that, I don't really have any offensive anything.
Well, you do have a hunting knife, but yes, I think that there's enough like rocks and trees around. I would say that you could either cause it damage or you can hinder it further if you're successful.
Oh, I think I'd rather hinder it because that would make it easier for Ira to do something.
Okay. All right. So it's that costs you. You know what? I don't even think you need to roll for this. It's just going to cost you 1 intellect point. Normally it would cost you 2, but you have an edge of 1. So you do that. Where do you want to push it to?
I think there's probably some sort of like brambles or something to just kind of shove it into that so that it's not able to move about as freely.
All right, yeah. So you shove it into some brambles, and it just kind of starts to get tangled, and it's almost like the brambles themselves are wrapping around its legs, and so yeah, it's going to be temporarily until its next turn. It's going to be hindered once more for it to get out. It's going to need to use one of its actions in order to get out of there.
And while I see that it can't get its head into the ground to escape my music, that's when I really kick up into a fast section. Actually, no, I kicked into fire on the mountain.
Ira, this is to you.
Right. So the thing's tangled up a bit. I'm trying to understand this. If I use one of my ciphers, Spirit Conjuration, it says level 6. Does that mean I need 18 to cast it?
Or does that mean he gets the level 6 spirit when he uses it?
No,
Which
I
would
get
be
a
very
level 2
powerful.
spirit.
What's
I get a level 2 spirit.
Let me look really fast. I don't want to say that I'm
because the one thing that I've got a cipher, I can do these magical things, and then when I look at my skills, it says using magic inability, which doesn't make much sense.
What? I thought sages could use magic.
I've got X in I.
That's weird.
That makes no sense. Did your one of your traits make you have an ability? Or maybe sages have to pick between crafting and using. I think that might be it. Do you have crafting trained?
I've got crafting magic and I've got understanding magic.
But
I think using magic would be more like casting spells.
So the ciphers cast are spells,
no, ciphers are think of ciphers as almost like extra abilities. Physical things that are extra abilities. I would say that I need to kind of double check on this. It's not super clear and I don't quite remember, but we'll just say that for right now, you can use this and it will summon the level 2 spirit if you'd like.
Okay, so I pull out the walnut that has the secret ingredients in it, and I crack the walnut, and I lay it out in a cross shape in front of me, and I summon a level 2 spirit and tell him attack that thing.
All right, so
Says he will.
it summons this spirit just like from the ground. It just like almost like this ghostly apparition appears, and you tell it to attack. Go on, I'm sorry.
A haint. It says here a haint.
Right.
I don't know what a haint is.
It's a haunt. It's a spirit. It's a ghost. It's a monster. That it's kind of like the generic term for supernatural creature. But it attacks. So go ahead and make a. It's gonna be because it's down by 2. It's gonna be a difficulty 4 attack. You're kind of doing this on behalf of the spirit.
Okay, so I need a 12.
A 12.
Uh-huh.
And I got a 12.
Perfect. So I will say that because this is a spirit, it's probably going to do, let's say, 4 points of damage. That's about a medium weapon. It just kind of like collides into this thing. The thing lets out another inhuman scream, and it your haint is attacking it. That takes us back to the top of the order. Zoa, what would you like to do?
Let's see. I got a little beast friend who is kind of like the Haint, only he's a natural animal. He's level 2 creature, so he has the 6 hit points, and his target number is 6, and he inflicts 2 points of damage. We were trying to figure out what that would be. I don't know what level 2 creature means. I always picture something like a mountain lion or cat, that might be too powerful, but
I mean, it could be a small mountain lion, like a not like a cub, but maybe a little bit older. I think that's fine.
I want to see if I can summon him and sick him on.
Oh yeah, it's probably been following you this whole time, so it can absolutely attack. So go ahead and it's the thing is still kind of whatever tangled up, blinded, so it's at a difficulty of 4, so you need to roll a 12.
Go 12 or lower, and so I'm using that thing. So I'm using the creature, but I don't have to do it. That just happens, but I have to roll to attack with the creature like he's at 4 difficulty. Can I lower that somehow, or I don't see a way.
Probably not. I mean, you can if you want to spend from your might pool. It would cost you 2 points.
Okay, I think I am gonna do that. I'm gonna lower it down from was it 4 to
3. Yep.
So that would be a 9 or above. So I'll spend 2 from that. And okay. So 9 or above. Something good. That is a 6. No, that's a 5. Nope, that's not gonna do it.
You have XP that you want to spend to?
Oh yeah, I could re-roll. I'm gonna spend my XP and re-roll.
All right.
And that's an 8, so that's still not enough for 9, right?
Correct. Did you spend XP to throw your witch ball?
I did not. I was thinking about it, but there wasn't something I could do with that. So I ended up not doing that. Yeah.
So you're what is it? A cougar? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like a bobcat or
so the bobcat rushes in, but the thing is able to kind of like swipe it to the side, easily. It's now this thing's turn. It spends 1 action to get out of the brambles, so difficulty for it is back up to 5, and it is going to attack Floyd. It's going to come at you. Again, it starts charging you. So it's going to be a difficulty level 5 to defend against that. It's going to be a might defense. So what would you like to do?
Let's see. Okay, so I will spend So if I spend 4 pool points, that'll take it down to take down 2 difficulties, right?
Well, you're only allowed to spend 1 level of effort. That's
Okay.
your limit right now. So you can spend 3 points from your pool, and that will knock it down to a 4
To a 4.
difficulty.
Okay, so that'll take it down to rolling a 12. That'll be fine.
Okay.
And I want to use one of my XP to re-roll the 1 that I just rolled.
That's good because on a 1, I get a free GM intrusion and don't have to give you XP.
Yeah, we want to re-roll that. Well, that's not much better. That's a 6. I can't use another XP to re-roll again, can I?
You can.
I'll do that.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
All right, I'm at 0 XP, and this time, finally a 13.
Awesome. So it goes again. It swipes at you with its claws, and you're able to somehow just barely get out of the way. The claws go across your shirt. The claws go across your shirt, and you can almost feel like these scratches. But when you look down, there's nothing on your chest. Your shirt is still intact. It gets to go one last time, and it is going to go after Ira. It looks at you and lets out another inhuman scream. You need to make an intellect defense roll. Right now, it's difficulty 5.
Oh, can it currently see yet or not?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it can kind of see, but not. It's still hindered.
So I need a 15. I've got an edge.
So if you spend an intellect, so if you spend 2 points from your pool, that will knock it down to 4.
Okay. And but it also says that once the spirit is summoned, commanding it is not an action.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So can I tell it to defend me as I attempt to get out of the way? Or you said the intellect thing.
Yeah.
I got a 19 anyway.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Oh,
All right, so you cover your ears somehow, but because you rolled a 19, you also get a minor effect. So what else would you like to happen?
I'd like the spirit to come and beat the shit out of the thing.
I'll tell you what, it gets a free attack on it. It was able to kind of like follow, and that's the minor effect you can either have it do an attack or you can hinder it for another round. What would you like it to do?
I'll have it hinder.
Okay, so the spirit is like distracting it until it gets to its next turn. So it's back down to a difficulty of 4.
Nice.
So this Ira, WE, Floyd, or Aussie, whichever one of you would like to go.
Can I use push again to put it back in the brambles so that it takes it down another
You can if you'd
difficulty?
like. You can.
Yeah.
That would be your action. And
Yeah.
I think you have to spend a point in something, right?
Yeah, in intellect, another point in intellect.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's down to
Okay.
3.
it's down to 3 currently.
So it's
All
down
right.
to 3.
All right, can I go? Because
Go ahead.
because since Shake the Bones legitimately costs me nothing to use because it's a 1 intellect point power and I've got an edge.
Hmm.
I am gonna do that, and with my music and my fiddle as an asset, that is gonna knock it down to a 1.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Whack. Or
So, ha! I believe that's a 6, but I just
That's
need a
enough.
3, so I'm good.
That's enough. So
I'm gonna, because I'm really feeling like I need to get this in a little bit more hurt. I'm gonna launch into Cotton Eye Joe now.
where do
All
you
right.
go?
the rest of you are also hurting a little bit. But
Where did you come from?
WE or Ira, whichever one would like to go.
I'm just going to do a nice machete thwack. So he's lost. How many hindrances has this guy got on him?
he is down to a difficulty of 3.
Okay, I will spend for the might to get it to 2, and I will give him a nice chop chop. So I need a 6 or better. 7, just barely. Okay.
Perfect. Your
This
machete
is 4
does
points of
4
damage.
points?
4
All right.
points of damage, but he's going to feel it.
He definitely feels it. The machete goes right into it, and it's bleeding. It's yelping out. It's not quite dead yet. Ira, it is down to you.
Finish it, Zoa.
Or Ira.
Oh, is that Ira? Yeah, finish it, Ira.
I'll just have the spirit keep passing.
Yeah, well, actually, all right. You want the spirit to? So the spirit only does 2 points, right?
Yeah,
Right.
you let it have 4 before, but
That's right. That's right. All right.
Right. Because then he just did 4. I did 4.
and
right.
the spirit will stay around for about an hour.
All right. So go ahead and roll. It's at a difficulty 3, unless you can reduce it even further.
Well, since the spirit's the one that's attacking, how would I reduce?
You can still use points from your might pool.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I'll spend some points. I've got 8. What do I spend? 3?
3.
2?
3. Because you do not have an edge in might,
Right.
you'd have to spend 3.
Okay, so
So-
that's just 6 or better?
Yes. 6 or better.
And I got an 8.
Perfect.
Nice.
That is enough. The spirit just kind of envelops this creature, this dog-like creature, as it begins to shudder, and it lets out one last inhuman scream and just falls to the ground.
And as it does, I actually then, I'm still playing, but I'm now playing Shenandoah as a way to calm the rest of us down.
And with that, family, you have been on a long journey. You have gone up against many a supernatural creature and so far have survived, but you have a long way. So family, until next time, y'all take care.
Our players included Thomas Bailey, Jen Obertaz, Joe Bardalis, Troy Lehman, and myself with Tyler Hudak as the Game Master. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the shadowy lore and frightening world of the old Gods of Appalachia role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.